Hello. We are just getting started for the Uncover and Unleash Your Inner Badass two-part master series. So today is part one, how to uncover your inner badass, and I'm super fired up. I was feeling a little defeated this morning by the news of what's happening in our country with our beautiful new leader. And I realized that now more than ever, we need to find our voices and use our voices and stand in our power and be a force for good and for change in the world, because there's a lot of really ugly shit coming to the surface. And I personally want to do something about it, and I also am here to give you access to your voice and your power and your confidence so that you can go out and do things that really matter and make a difference in the world, whatever that looks like for you. But there's a lot of us that are itching to do more and to get out of our own way, so I want to give you the tools to do that. So I am going to hang out for a couple minutes, give people a chance to jump on. And if you're already in here, you can go ahead and we can use the chat box. Just let me know you're here, and maybe what you're most excited for in the masterclass and where you're from. I want to know where you're from. So there should be a little box for you to chat in. I'm using Google Live, Google Hangouts. And I've never done a live masterclass on it. Well, I tried once and the sound did not work, but it looks like my sound is working today. So hopefully it'll work. Yesterday, our trial run fixed some of the sound issues, but we had kind of slow internet at my co-working space. So hopefully it will cooperate. It will be a mix of live video, my face, and I put together some slides so that you have something to look at and reference back to, and you can always watch the recording again or print it out and take notes. I can send it out to you. And yeah. If you have questions throughout the entire masterclass, you can pop them in the group chat and I'll either answer them as I go, or I'll come back to them at the end as we have time, and make sure. And I have a special little extra something at the end. So I can't wait to tell you all about it. And as promised, this is a no fluff, no BS kind of masterclass. I am actually going to give you tools you can use. And if you did my Zero Fucks challenge last week with a couple hundred other women, you may have seen some of them. We're going to go a little deeper today, and I will give you even more. And if you haven't done the challenge, it will be open to take it on your own time. I just won't be running it live, but you can still come in the group and we'll support you and go through it. And it was really incredible to see last week all of these women having breakthroughs and having more courage and confidence and feeling like a badass and getting shit done in their life and their business that had been on hold because they were worried what people would think or what they would say and how they'd look. So it was incredible, and I'm going to give you more today, so I can't wait to see what you do with it. I'm going to give us like 2 more minutes, and then we will jump in because I have a lot of good info, and I can't wait. And for those of you catching the recording, if you have questions or anything you want to talk about the masterclass, then you didn't get to catch it live, come on over to my Facebook. Either way, come to my Facebook group. Stop Waiting, Start Living. It is our safe space, non-judgmental, where we can all practice unleashing and uncovering and unleashing our inner badass, and seeing what that looks like, supporting one another, celebrating our wins, going through our struggles together. And I'll share even more on just how to keep unleashing her and using her to be a force for good in the world. So 1 more minute, get cozy. I have some tea. My scarf turned into a blanket because it's cold in here. And don't fret if you don't know me yet. I will introduce myself. I'm Julia, but I'm grateful that you're here. And it's going to be an amazing class. And I designed it for you because I know you're meant to do amazing things. And I want to help you do them. Okay. I'll start with just my face, and then when we switch to slides so you can see my screen, let me know if there's any issue. Hopefully there's no lag time. If there is, I'll try to let it catch up. But if you can comment in the comment box, I'll watch that and keep an eye on it so we can try to make it run as smoothly as possible. But you know, sometimes technology has its own agenda. Okay, so let's dive in officially. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Uncover and Unleash Your Inner Badass Masterclass. If you don't know what a masterclass is, no worries. It's just an online workshop with a fancy name. But I'm not just going to like talk at you and give you a whole bunch of fluff. I want to give you really tangible tools that you can take and start using immediately. And some of them you'll be thinking about as we go through the class, and some of them you'll want to work on later, you'll kind of ruminate on, but they will be incredible. And so you're here because currently you are feeling stuck or overwhelmed, or you're a people pleaser, perfectionist, you really care about looking good and worrying about what other people think, and you're not alone. That's really important to remember. And you're ready to do something about it. So I am all about zero fuck giving and conscious living. And for me, zero fucks is really, it's not about not caring about anything and being indifferent and being resigned, because I absolutely don't want you to be those things. I want you to be conscious about where you give your fucks to, and to give them to things that matter, and to make a difference with how you spend your time and your energy. And we'll go over how to do that today. But yeah, conscious living, like really being somebody who gets it, who cares, who's here to make a difference. And the combination of the two leads to really incredible things. It was what allowed me to finally break through in my life and my business, and to know who I am, what I want, and then how to go after it in a way that felt really good, that worked for me. And I just can't wait to share all of that with you. So you are going to walk away with the tools to be more confident, courageous, to walk into a room and be able to make eye contact with whoever you want, to feel like you own the place, that anything is possible, and that you stand in your own power, and you know that, and that you do it your way, and you own your authenticity and what is unique and amazing and beautiful about you. And you connect, and you have really genuine and authentic relationships. You attract the right friends, partners, sisters, whoever it is on your journey, to be there with you. When you allow yourself to be fully expressed and authentic, you become magnetic for the people and things that you want to call into your life, which is really important. And if you're currently feeling stuck in any of those places, this will give you access to something new. So that zero fucks, you'll see pictures of me flipping the middle finger. I'm known for it. It's all in my Facebook group, all over the social media. And again, it's not about being careless and reckless. It's about really doing something that matters. So I'm super jazzed up today to give you all of this information. I will try not to talk too fast like I do when I get really excited. But there's a lot going on in the world today, and I really want to empower you to know yourself so that you can go out there and do things that really, really matter, because we need it. We need a lot of it. So I'm going to try to switch to this beautiful slideshow I made. Bear with me. Hopefully there's no lag. but let me know. Can you guys see it? If anyone has the chat feature, can you let me know? All right, let's do it. Give you a little break from my face. So welcome to part one. Like we talked about, you're here, you're sick of worrying what people think about you, you're exhausted from putting other people first, you feel stuck and overwhelmed, you're tired of being critical about everything you do, you feel shitty saying you don't care when you really do, guilty. You're over people pleasing, you're sick of feeling worried, fearful, stressed, easy to happen in this current environment. And you never feel like you can meet other people or your own expectations. You're also here because you want to be unapologetically yourself. You want to feel carefree, confident, courageous. You're ready to find your purpose, share your message. I promise this work is what you have to do to get there. It will make it so much easier. It will likely effortlessly fall into your lap. You want to walk into the room and own it. You want to feel comfortable in your own skin. You want to make a difference in the world. You want to do what lights your soul on fire without worrying about disappointing anyone else. And you want to have deep, deep, deep trust in yourself. So if you walk away with only knowing one thing, I hope you know that you're already a badass. So let me just be clear that this isn't about being someone that you're not or trying to become something you think society values. It's actually peeling back all of the layers of what's on top of who you are, which is a badass, a beautiful, loving human being that is valuable simply because you exist. So just remember, it's not about doing more, it's about being more and just more of yourself and peeling back all the stuff that we have piled on top of it and all of those layers of fucks that we have learned to give because people have either passed them on to us, told us to, etc., etc. So you are a badass. By the way, if you haven't read that book yet, go read it. So we're ready to uncover her. All right, I'm just going to give you kind of a rundown of what we're going to cover today. We'll talk about why you give so many fucks, what to do about it, how to get clear on how you want to feel. This will lead to more of the being than the doing and just piling more things on top of it. What you'll need to stop doing immediately to let your inner badass out to play. How to determine where to give your fucks to. Again, it's not actually about zero fucks. It's just about being conscious about where you're giving them. And the one thing you need to know to not only uncover your inner badass, but to truly embody her. So I got a lot to cover. I hope you're excited. If you have questions, put them in the chat box. Also, who am I? I am Julia. I am also a recovering people pleaser, perfectionist, and overanalyzer. I'm the founder of Conscious Compass and the host of Zero Fucks Challenge, which I talked a little bit about in the beginning. Another great resource if you want to give less fucks and have more confidence and courage. So I'm a thought partner, a catalyst, and a coach for really ambitious women who are ready to speed up the process of figuring out who they are, what they want, and how to get it so that you could start doing badass stuff in the world. It is all about empowering you, peeling back those layers and getting you out there in action. It doesn't need to look perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. I will be by your side for all of it. And it is really my purpose and an honor to be able to do that. So, and just know you're not alone. I get all of these things. I'm sharing all of this information because it's what I've personally gone through to get where I'm at. And it has made such a huge difference and transformed my life and my business. I have been in business. I'm going into my 3rd year. And my declaration to giving zero fucks and to fully owning who I am is what changed things literally overnight. So can't wait to share it. So you might be thinking, why do I give so many fucks? And we tend to be so hard on ourselves, and we worry about things that are coming up in the future. And then we worry about the fact that we're worrying, and then we're worried that we're worried that we're worrying. And we never get to enjoy the present moment. So this needs to end, but I think it's important to look at why we give so many fucks, and also being really kind to ourselves, because this is everything that you see out there in society, what you've heard since you were a kid. There's so many old stories and beliefs and patterns and habits that are passed down. And the first place that I always ask you to start is to just bring awareness to those without judging yourself. So one of my favorite ways to do this is to tally or track where your fucks are going. So in the Zero Fucks Challenge, we spent the first day keeping a running tally of every time we caught ourselves giving a fuck. It wasn't beating ourselves up. It was just sitting and watching when those thoughts come up of like, oh, should I do this? Can I do this? Oh, I'm not going to because X, Y, Z, and you hear your favorite excuse or reason pop up. And just having either, you can tally it on your hand, you can have a notebook. And then I want you to go a little bit deeper. So anytime you're trying to change a habit or a behavior or a belief, you want to start with awareness. So this is super important. Please don't skip this step. I know that it can be really, really painful. It's uncomfortable to look at the places in our life where we're stuck and we're held back, and especially when we realize it's us. We are the common denominator, and we are the one letting our fuck-giving mind, I guess, run the show. So after you start tracking your fucks, I think the next step is to have some type of journal. You can do it on your phone or paper. I think paper is great because a lot of stuff will come out that you may not even realize. There's something just about handwriting we don't do a lot of anymore. But start to create themes and lists and collect the old stories you have about yourself, and just get curious about where they came from, how long have they been there, what evidence have you collected to support them. So if it's, your story might be that it's not safe to be your totally weird and goofy self. This was a big thing for me. I didn't want to make other people uncomfortable, and thought people would judge me if I was a total weirdo. Funnily enough, it's usually when I have the best connections and make my best and closest friendships, when I just let myself be a weirdo. But look back and see, maybe there's something someone said to you, something you read or heard, or a judgment you passed on somebody else. And just start to uncover what all of those areas look like and how they're controlling how you show up and behave in the world, in your relationships. And again, just be really kind to yourself. And I would suggest doing this often. Just give yourself a reality check. It's not meant to beat you up or bring you down whatsoever. It's just like, again, the awareness is what gives you access, and shining a light on the things, even though it can feel shameful and embarrassing. Once you get them out into the light and you can just say like, hey, this is where I'm stuck, this is what's going on, they feel way less scary than when they're in your head and you're convinced that people will reject you, nobody will love you, that you won't be accepted. So shine a light on those bad boys. I write, I go through regularly and I write, where am I giving too many fucks, or what am I currently feeling ashamed about? Because when they're in my head, they tend to control how I show up in a really negative way. But when I get them out, I'm like, okay, cool, good to know. Now let's get to work. So after we do this, sorry, tea break. I think it's really important before we move forward after the awareness piece is to get clear on how you want to feel and be. And again, it's not being someone else. So my favorite exercise to do this is the alter ego exercise. So a lot of us know about Miss Beyonce and Sasha Fierce. And I want you to create your own alter ego. If you sign up for the Zero Fucks Challenge, this is required. It was absolutely amazing to see all of these women embrace the alter ego exercise, even though it can feel really uncomfortable. So looking at this alter ego, knowing that she's really just a piece of you, a part of you that is probably buried by anxiety, worry, fear, the fear of rejection, and anything that doesn't feel safe. But go through and get really clear on, who is this woman? How does she walk into a room? How does she carry her body? What does she wear? What does she say? What kinds of questions does she ask? What are her favorite activities? Some of this was like having dance party or singing at the top of your lungs, not worrying about what anyone thinks. A lot of us desire to walk into a room and be really confident and just own the place and not worry about what everyone might be thinking about us. Side note, people aren't thinking about you because they're thinking about themselves, but I know it can feel terrifying. So create this alter ego, give her a name. I love to find a photo. It could be a photo of yourself at a point where you felt totally badass and fearless. It could be something you find online of another woman or a goddess or a fairy. We had all kinds of stuff. And see what name comes to you. It could be your own name, since really she is a part of you, or it could be something totally different. So my alter ego is Susie. She comes from a really ratchet Gucci Mane song. But just there's something like when I think about Susie and how she shows up, she truly gives zero fucks, and it allows me, when I'm in a situation feeling uncomfortable or lacking confidence, I just channel Susie and let her kind of take over the show. And it's been really incredible to witness like the integration of once you declare it and you get clear on how this alter ego feels and shows up and who she is and her role in the world, you will slowly see them, or maybe very quickly see them merge together. Because again, it's not somebody outside of yourself, it's you. It's just giving ourselves permission to come back to her. Also, try things on for size. I think this is really important when you're trying to figure out how you want to feel, who you want to be, or just like being more of yourself. Go do new things or have a conversation about it, maybe journal about it, literally like try it on, as in like dress a certain way, do your hair a certain way, see how you feel. Does it bring out this part of you or maybe not? It's okay if it feels uncomfortable. But I think this, in actually embodying it and seeing how it feels in your bones is really, really powerful. And then think about how you can do more of it. Also creating a visual reminder, a vision board. I was talking to my amazing friend Michelle the other day, and she was sharing that her Pinterest vision board is actually, like, she never thought of it, but it's her alter ego, and it's just how the things that she loves and what is visually appealing and all of these elements for her. And so I think having like something on Pinterest or even pull things out of a magazine and like a vision board, sorry, tea time, is really, really powerful to look at every single day to bring you back to that essence of yourself. I also think it's good to look at how will you measure it. So maybe there are certain things that you want to try to do, conversations you'll want to have, and this doesn't need to be very systematized. I just think doing some journaling or reflecting often and just look over, what did I try? How did it feel? What did I learn? What felt good? What didn't feel good? Was it just because it was uncomfortable, or did it not feel like me? And also being clear on what if it changes. And there may be some patterns or habits or ways of being that you've been stuck in for a really long time, or as you come back to yourself, things change and they shift, and just be open to seeing what else is available to you. Okay. In order to do more of this, the next piece is to look at what do you need to release. So now that we're clear on where we're at, we're clear on where we want to go, we need to look at those layers that need to come off. All the fucks, all the layers, everybody has these. Do not beat yourself up for it. It is not your fault. This is just simply how the mind works, how society works. And this is the fun part where you get to dive in and see what comes up for you when you start releasing things. Also be really gentle and take care of yourself. And I like to ask myself, what do I need to feel grounded or nurtured? And lots of self-care, whatever that looks like for you. So diving into what are the old habits? You can journal these. You could have a conversation with somebody and just non-judgmental look at what is there that if you were able to release it would completely change your life. So just ask yourself that right now. What would you need to release to completely change your life? Some of you may have something immediately come to mind. You may have a visceral response in your body. When I asked myself this, a few months ago, I just immediately burst into tears and realized that caring what everybody thought of me was completely destroying my life and my business. And I decided to let it go right then and there. There's no reason why you can't let it go right this second. So give yourself permission to do that. See what else comes up. Look at what relationships are holding you back, or maybe you're holding back in the relationship. Maybe there's something you need to let go of so that your inner badass comes out. Or maybe there's relationships that you've just outgrown, and for your inner badass to really play and come alive, she might need to take a step back. You don't have to cut everybody out. You can kind of pull back or put them in a different level of how much time and energy you commit to them. The old story is keeping you stuck. So one yesterday that I'll just share is that I can't execute or accomplish anything on my own, that I always need somebody by my side, which is cool. Like, I like to collaborate. I really like to stay doing what I'm good at and let other people do what they're good at. But I also really saw that it was this fear that I couldn't just be badass and do it on my own and shine and be realistic about it. So what stories do you have? What evidence have you collected to support them? Journal. We can talk about this more in the Facebook group. I do this deep work one-on-one with clients, or just have a conversation with someone and talk about what old stories are keeping you stuck thinking you need to show up a certain way instead of just being yourself. And what if it hurts to release people or habits that keep us uncomfortable? It's okay. It's not always comfortable growing back into yourself and stepping into your power, but you can do it with love and compassion and kindness. It's not zero fucks and just cutting people out or numbing. And so I want to be clear that all of this is done with love and kindness and compassion to yourself and to other people. It doesn't have to happen overnight. It is a process. And just be aware that it can be uncomfortable, and that's totally okay. It's just part of the process. So where should you give your fucks? So I talked about this a little bit in the beginning, but I really want to dive into what conscious fuck giving is versus being a jerk or an asshole that doesn't care. And this is really the only way to be. When you stop caring about everything, you are indifferent, you're resigned. You're not contributing, you don't feel powerful, you literally give up all of your power. You generally start to numb through food, through alcohol, through relationships, through sleep, way too much Netflix, because you've just decided that nothing is worth caring about. And I absolutely disagree. So this is my favorite part and essential to this entire journey of conscious living and zero fuck giving, is to get clear on your core values. So this is a process that no matter how you work with me, this is always our beginning focus on what values really drive you and speak to you. And they don't have to look like anybody else, right? These are your core values, and they may be different for your personal life versus your business. Some of it may overlap, and that's okay. But these are going to drive how you determine where to give your time and energy and fucks to, that allow your inner badass to always be fueling herself and being in her power, and instead of losing her power or trying to be somebody else and to fit in. These are those deep values, right? It's not the superficial external things and achievements and right, this is like your family, it is learning, it is spirituality, and I have a huge list if we ever dive deeper working together. And spending time on this will be, this is basically your North Star and your guiding light of who is your inner badass and what matters to her. And that will allow you to navigate anything that comes your way. And you just kind of check in against your core values. And if it's something that matters to you, you give your time and energy to it. And you bring your full, authentic personality and self to everything you do. I would strongly suggest create a fuck giving manifesto. I wrote this at the beginning of the year, and I just got clear on what I do give a fuck about. The causes, the people, the relationships, the places, the experiences, anything like that, and put it somewhere where you see it and it reminds you. And you spend your time and energy on these things, share it with people you love, look at each other's, talk about it, do this together. And then also, what do you do if you start giving your fucks away to the wrong thing again? Come back to this core value and look at this. Like, who am I? What really matters to me? And what would I do if I showed up for what matters? So sometimes you're going to have to break prior agreements. You're going to have to say no. You may disappoint people. But when you stay aligned with your core values, that's when your inner badass gets to keep coming out. You get to be more and more of yourself. And it will make a massive difference. So I promised I would tell you the one and only thing you really, really need to know is that if you use this one affirmation, you will embody your inner badass and you will own your full power. And that is, I'm valuable because I exist. I am valuable because I exist. So for a lot of us, we've spent our entire life trying to be the right person, say the right things, have the right things, buy the house, the car, have the job, the title, the business accomplishments, the hair, the body, the nails, everything. And we tend to source our value from that or from even the work we've done on ourselves. But it really comes back to you're simply valuable because you exist. You are your inner badass. So I highly recommend using this often. And I just want to check in and see. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. And I would love to see if anyone has any questions. If you have anything, pop it in the chat box. Let me know. I have a little bit more for you. But I just want to check in. I know that was a lot. There's probably a lot going through your head. So you'll digest it as you go. You can always, again, come into my Facebook group and ask questions. I'll help you out. All of the amazing women in there. And yeah, okay. So you can still, while I finish everything else, write everything in the comments. The chat box, hopefully it works. If you're watching on your phone, I don't know. But let me get back to my screen because I have something really exciting. If you're ready to go even deeper. Okay. So if you're ready to go even deeper, I would love to invite you to the Conscious Zero Fucks crew. So what this is, it's a 6-week group coaching experience that I've designed. We'll take everything that we've talked about here and we really look at applying it and integrating it into your life. So it's great to throw a bunch of information at you. This is valuable. You can totally digest it on your own, but I truly want you to embody this work and to claim your inner badass, to own her, and to bring her to everything that you do, and to not do it alone. So I created this as a program for women to go through together intentionally. So this is for you if you're passionate about your own personal development. You will see radical transformation. You're ready to live your best life while being your best self. You crave deep, meaningful relationships and sisterhood. And you want the courage and confidence to finally be your true self and to show up in every area. So how we'll kind of lay out, we'll have 4 weeks of content up front. We'll go even deeper into what we talked about. And I've broken it into basically 4 layers of looking at self and then relationships, whether that's family, romantic, friendships. And then we look at your livelihood, your career, your passion, your purpose, your business. And then we look at your global impact, your legacy, and what work you're doing in the world. And we really apply and bring out your inner badass in all levels of your life. And I literally just got chills talking about it. It's so powerful. It is going to change your entire life in the best way possible. We will, of course, have fun. We will give 0 fucks. We will celebrate. We will go through our challenges together. It is a real ass group of women, the most incredible people. And I will be there to support you the entire time. So we'll have live weekly coaching calls where you can ask me questions. We can dive even deeper. You can, of course, ask. We'll have a private Facebook group for you, so that we can all be in there sharing. But the calls, I want to make sure that you can get some one-on-one coaching, some quick coaching on those calls. And then after the 4 weeks where we look at every basically different level, layer of our life, there will be 2 full weeks for integration where you get to work through the content, because I know it is a lot, but to really dive in and pick and choose what feels best to you, what would make the biggest difference in your life. And then I'll be there to continue supporting you. And so will the group as we do that. I also have some amazing, amazing women guest interviews lined up that will teach you other tips and ways to be a conscious liver and 0 fuck giver. And I mentioned the private Facebook group. And then you also get lifetime access to the course. Every time I run it live, you will be invited back to join us. You'll be invited to get live coaching from me again, which is incredible. And all of the materials, any updates that I have, anything I add to it, you will get full access to, essentially for free going forward. So the investment of the course I valued at $1,500. And because this is the introductory round, and I think given the historic times that we have right now, I want to make this as accessible to as many people as possible, because the world truly, truly needs you to be standing in your power, to be owning who you are, and to take that out into the world to make a difference. So I'm offering it for only $500. Again, lifetime access. If you don't go through the entire thing this round, that's okay. I trust that you'll get exactly what you need. And the work will be powerful, and you can continue to repeat this for the rest of your life with the most incredible women by your side. Also, I have a bonus for you. Since you attended the masterclass, if you sign up in the next 48 hours, I will also bonus you a private coaching session, a 1-hour coaching call with me. It's valued over $300, and we can go even deeper together, build that relationship, and that allows us to really dive in and pull apart together whatever it is you need some extra support on. So I just want to ask you, what's the worst that can happen if you don't sign up? I'm going to come back to my face because I just want to talk to you. So really, what's the worst that can happen if you don't sign up for this? Probably nothing. You can stay giving the fucks that you give, having the anxiety, the worry, the fear that you'll never figure out your purpose, how you want to show up, how to make a difference. You'll let your relationships continue on the path they're on. Hopefully we'll get some amazing content from the class today, and that's great. But what if you gave yourself an opportunity to go even deeper, to see what would be possible? Because I truly, truly believe that you have it in you. You're here for a reason. You are ambitious. You know that you're meant for something more. You might not know what it is. You might know what it is and not know how to get there. You might be getting in your own way. And I would love for you to give yourself an opportunity to dive deeper with me, with a group of women. And I have this laid out so that you'll have all the support you need. And I will stand for you, being a force for good in the world and doing something that matters with your life. And I would love for you to give yourself that opportunity. So if that sounds good to you, I will post a link. I have one more slide with the website, and I'll include it in the email with the replay. But if you head to juliacwells.com and then you look under Work With Me for the Conscious Zero Fucks crew, you can sign up. On that page, you'll get your bonus 1-hour coaching call with me, and lifetime access for only $500. So this work is incredible. It truly changed my life. I can't wait to share it with you. And if now is not the right time, I totally respect that. I hope you got immense value out of the masterclass today. And I hope I see you in Stop Waiting, Start Living. And I can't wait to see what you do in the world, because you're incredible. And your inner badass is ready to come out. So next week, we'll talk about how to unleash her now that you've started to sort out who she is, what are her values, peeling back all those layers that had buried her for years and years. And I'll give you some more tools to unleash her. So I hope you enjoyed today's class. I would love, love, love to hear your thoughts. And even more, I would love to have the opportunity to work with you in the Conscious Zero Fucks crew, which starts February 6th, our live round. So holler if you have any questions. I love you guys. You are absolutely amazing. Thank you for giving yourself the gift of this time and being open to exploring and uncovering your inner badass, because she's ready to come out. So enjoy and let me know how I can help you keep continuing to uncover her. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up.